Hey guys, it's Casey. Thank you for joining us on the Creative Art Collective this week. First we had Taslima My Art, followed by Let's Pour with Patty, and then me, Casey from CWV-Artistry, and Sheldon Briscoe of Shell Rock Art. We are on every Saturday, 6 p.m. UK time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today I am going to be working on a bowl. I wanted to do Christmas in July, and I found this beautiful washi tape. And I thought, how beautiful would that be around the rim of a bowl? Okay, so I've pulled it out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to remove the adhesive from the back of this paper. I just want the paper, and I'm trying to figure out how I can get this adhesive off of here. First, I'm going to start with some alcohol. This is 99% alcohol, and I'm going to spray it, and then I'm going to just rub it down really good with my fingers and see if that doesn't remove the stickiness. That doesn't work, but I do continue stretching it out because it's wet at this point. I didn't know it didn't work, so I am going to stretch out the washi tape and spray it with some more alcohol and see if I can't get some of that adhesive to remove. I'm using a spritz bottle, so it's just a fine misting of alcohol, and then I'm just taking my finger and rubbing it. And now I'm going to grab my nail polish remover. I figured, well, maybe nail polish remover would remove it. So I went with the nail polish remover. It seemed to help a little bit, but it didn't fully remove the stickiness. So I'm just going to wipe that down with the nail polish remover, and I'm going to use a baby wipe to help wipe it off. Okay, and now I'm just going to take and turn my bowl inside out, and I'm going to line the bowl with this washi tape, making sure that I've got it all in line with the top of the bowl. I'm sorry I'm a little bit off camera for you guys. I tried to get it in view the best I could, but this was a hard process to get on camera. But I just want to follow the line of the top of the bowl and connect the washi tape and try to hide any hard lines and try to keep it as even as possible. And then I'm just going to simply flip my bowl back out. And right here I'm going to tell you, when I did this, my washi tape did move a little bit on me, but I think the bowl still comes out beautifully. Okay, so now that I've got my bowl flipped back out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up some epoxy resin. I'm going to use my 2-part Bond Crafter epoxy resin. This is Sky Blue. It's alcohol ink and mysterious black, and this is what it looks like mixed together. I wanted a dark to resemble some of the darkness in those, and then I've mixed up a light blue mica powder and a cream white mica powder, and I've put some sparkle, I think it's crushed crystal, in my clear. And first I'm just going to pour down my clear and go around the rim of the bowl, and I'm just going to pour a lot in there because I've got to cover up that washi tape first. So I've got to work this down into the edges just by taking and moving my stick around and just pushing it down slowly, letting it work its way down on its own at its own speed. Okay, after I get the majority of this clear resin worked down into the edges, what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the bowl around in a circle and kind of bounce it up and down a little bit to make sure that I've got it all going down all the sides of the bowl. Okay, now I'm going to pour in another clear layer of the epoxy resin, and I'm going to work that down the edges as well. See, I'm just taking and lightly pushing the resin towards the sides of the bowl as evenly as I possibly can. Just get as much down in the sides as I possibly can. And where I have the crushed crystal in there, it looks like there's debris floating because some of the flakes are bigger than others, and I'm constantly looking at it to see. But I'm just going to work the resin down to the edges of this bowl, and once I get that all worked out, I'm just going to take and get my colors and start layering the colors into the bowl. And I've got this almost cleared out. I've got almost all of my clear resin down the sides. It was a bit tricky doing this part. Okay, now let's start pouring our colors. Let's move this out of the way, and we're going to start with the cream white. And we're going to go around the rim of the bowl in a circle. We're just going to do a circle of the cream white. And then we're going to grab the transparent color next. Because we have a cream white mica. This is a transparent alcohol ink. And then we're going to use the other mica. And I'm just going to continue this process until the bowl is filled completely. I really love this mixture of colors. I do think that I'm going to explore this a little bit more in the winter time, because I really love the way these three colors intermix together. I think they're really gorgeous together. So if you can tell, my table's not quite flush and all my resin's wanting to rest to one side, so I'm going to have to fix my table here in just a second. But for now, I'm just going to take and try to level it out the best I can. I don't have my leveling table set up today, and I'm trying to make sure I get it as level as I possibly can so that the bottom of the bowl is level. Okay, so now that I've got the majority of my resin in here, I'm just going to keep filling until my cups are completely empty. Just going mica, transparent color, mica again. And my cups are pretty much flushed out at this point. I'm just getting the last bits of resin out of them that I can. And just keeping it moving in a circular motion when I pour it. And I've got a little bit of clear left over. So I'm just going to grab my clear and I'm just going to drizzle it across the top of the bowl as well. When I get this all in here. At this point, the center of the bowl, I'm just pouring the resin one on top of the other in there because it's just a few drips. Okay, so now I'm just going to take and try to pop some bubbles around the edges. In this lip, the bubbles like to hide. So I'm going to go around the outside edges of my bowl with my silicone tool here, and I'm just going to go slowly around the outside edge and work it all the way out and try to pull out any bubbles that are sitting on the surface of that bowl. Okay, once I get that done and I'm happy that I've got around the edges as best I could, I've decided I was going to swirl a pattern in the base of this bowl. I want to swirl these colors a little bit more together. I'm loving the intermix of them. So I'm just going to take and kind of swirl them together. I'm not going to over mix them, but I want to still see bits and pieces of all the colors. But I do want to mix them together a little bit more where they just look like they're all running together. So I'll do this like I would do a bloom if I was going to do a bloom. And now I'm going to take the last bit of my clear resin and drizzle that across the top of this. I was hoping maybe I could get a crackle effect or something. But where I kept my mica so transparent, I think that prevented any type of crackle effect from happening. Or it might also be in the fact that there was mica in my clear where I used the crushed crystal. But I didn't get a crackle effect like I was hoping. But it still is absolutely a stunning bowl. I really love the way it came out. But like I said, hindsight's 20/20. You know, you see things perfectly when you're done at the end of the day. And there's so many things that I've learned from this. Like, I learned that alcohol and nail polish remover are not going to take the adhesive off. I probably need to use mineral spirits. And I learned that the paper backing is going to touch the silicone itself, so it's going to prevent resin from seeping around it. So I know now maybe not put that paper in there without dipping it in resin first. You know, there's a few things that I've learned from this. But now we're going to move on. We're going to let this guy cure up for 24 hours. And now we're going to demold this guy. Okay. To demold it, the easiest way I've found is to work your fingers around the edges of the lip of the bowl. And then pull the sides down and over. Like this right here. Pull the sides down and over. Just halfway. And then turn your bowl like it's going to be sitting on the table. And once you get it all turned out, because this is a process right here, turn it like it's going to be sitting on the table. And then it's really going to be suctioned in there, so you got to work that suction loose. Now just pull it away from the bowl. And here it is, guys. Look at this. I love those colors. Now look at my tape. Can you see? My tape moved on me. So I have a straight line at the edge around half of it, and then half of it walks down and then towards the center of the bowl. And also on the inside of the bowl, you can feel the tackiness of the tape. It's really a beautiful bowl. It'll be a beautiful centerpiece or something in the wintertime, something to put fruit in and something to just decorate with. I wouldn't use this as a salad bowl or a soup bowl or anything like that, but I would use this to decorate with. It would be really nice to have for decorations. I just hate that washi tape moved on me, and that you can feel the adhesive on the other side of the bowl on the inside. But look how gorgeous this is, guys. Just look at the scenery. It is so stunning. I love that washi tape. Look at the colors of the bottom of the bowl. Aren't those gorgeous? Just the way those colors played together. I really love every bit of it. I think it worked out really well. Like I said, there's a few things I would do differently, but that's what hindsight's for, guys, so you can learn. I hope you guys enjoyed this bowl. And up next is Sheldon Briscoe of Shell Rock Art. Thank you for joining me. Have a blessed day.